Lee Cronin's latest The Mummy movie releases into theaters this weekend. I checked it out last night, and here is my review. Before I dive in, please make sure to tell me in the comment section if you watched the movie. What is your opinions on the film? Did you love it? Are you with the majority of the audiences and aren't quite enjoying this one? Or tell me all those opinions. And while you're down there, if you would subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. All those things would be greatly appreciated from me, your boy. Went out to see the movie, giving you my review here. Now, I was very much looking forward to this movie. Lee Cronin's last film, Evil Dead Rise, is my favorite film in the Evil Dead franchise, so I was very excited to see what he could do in this movie with The Mummy. And even when it's getting a lot of hate, that I feel very unwarranted hate, I was still very optimistic and one of the only few people very much looking forward to this movie. And clearly, I will be in the minority in this film. I left absolutely shocked that people aren't loving this. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I thought numerous times throughout the movie that this movie rocks. And I'm very shocked that the general public disagrees with me. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is more of an Evil Dead film. Absolutely. It's like he wanted to make another Evil Dead movie, and they're like, no, you can't. Which I don't understand why, because the last Evil Dead movie was awesome, but whatever. So he made a Mummy movie, and essentially that Mummy movie is now an Evil Dead version of the Mummy movie. Whatever. This movie is one of the grossest films I've seen in my life. Like, you could think of other gross movies, and I did. I don't think a single one of them has grossed me out more than this movie. I don't think a single one of those movies had me do this number, or my brother do this number, numerous times throughout the film. It's almost like Lee Cronin wanted to see how disgusting he can make his film, and each time that he did something gross, he just progressively did the next scene even grosser than the scene before, and it was effective. And that combined with the psychological horror aspect of this family losing their daughter, the daughter coming back, not being the same, it all really, really worked for me. And as a horror movie, a lot of the early reactions say that it was one of the scariest movies they've ever seen. I full on disagree with that. I do think it was quite scary, though, and had plenty of edge-of-your-seat, tense moments that I did enjoy. So, The Mummy, was pretty scary, at least for me. And part of that is because you just love this cast so much. From the very start of the movie, when you're introduced to this family, you fall in love with them. It doesn't do anything special. These aren't, so special characters or anything. They just have a good job performing here and making us feel like they're a happy family, and you have a smile on your face when things are going good. And then when things start going bad, you feel bad for these characters. You feel bad for this family. And the longer the movie goes on, especially when you get the daughter back, you learn things aren't right. You still love these characters, and you just feel bad everything is happening to these characters. All the performances are great, even the children performances, and in a lot of movies, child performances are very, very, very hit or miss. Everybody's perfect in this movie, especially the young girl who plays Katie. She absolutely rocks, and I thought numerous times, if you're filming a movie like this, how traumatizing does it have to be for your child in a movie like this? But everybody just goes absolutely nuts, and a fantastic performance-filled movie. And on the technical level, it is a very technically well-made movie. The cinematography is great, the score is haunting, and Lee Cronin, like I mentioned, is a filmmaker that I really do enjoy. Like I mentioned, it felt like he wanted to make this film be as gross as humanly possible, and he full-on did succeed with that. And he's just a director that I'm going to keep my eye out for in the future for just the grossest, gnarliest films out there. And he did a very good job with this one. I think the direction was very good here. And the movie's also, honestly, quite funny. I laughed quite a bit throughout this movie, whether it's laughing to undercut the tension or whether it is laughing to a joke that was said in the movie that is actually legitimately funny. It is a legitimately funny Mummy movie. And overall, this is just a movie that I had fun with. I get that it's a horror movie. It is a little scary. But, this is the first big movie of the year that I sat down and watched and left the theater that was awesome. That's exactly what I want from movies. This is why I go to the movies. And I am just absolutely buffooned or baffled, I guess is the right word, that people aren't loving this movie as much as I am, because I watched this film and I think Lee Cronin's The Mummy rocks. Now, there are a few slight issues. I would say that the film pushes its boundaries, and sometimes I think it definitely oversteps. There's kind of an unspoken rule in horror that we don't really want to see anything bad happen to kids. And in this movie, you know that the daughter gets possessed. The movie shows you how the daughter gets possessed. In a scene that it's on a videotape, and you just watch as the parents are watching their daughter on the videotape scream, "No, I don't want to do this, help me," while getting possessed. And it is kind of a heartbreaking scene, especially with the performances of the parents that are just watching their baby girl get possessed. But then you watch the daughter just get possessed, and it's just such a hard to watch scene because everybody is performing so well in the movie, and it just, like, it's very creepy. And in that scene, I was like, I think it's overstepping. Definitely. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to see the sweet, innocent little girl get possessed. It is heartbreaking. It really is. And then I would say some of the character moments, some people aren't necessarily smartest. Specifically in the beginning of the movie, you got the dad like, "Hey, this isn't right. I just basically saw her stick a metal rod in her leg." And the mom's like, "No, she's my baby, and we finally got her back." And I'm like, it's not right. I kind of get it, because, like, if you lose your daughter for 8 years and she finally comes back, you would not want to send her off again. But at the same time, like, something is messed up, it's happening, and it's affecting your other kids too. You kind of gotta be a little smart there. Not enough to full on make me like, oh, I didn't. Like, it's not enough to distract the movie from me, but it is enough to note. And then the final thing I will say is that the script isn't necessarily the smartest. A few more rewrites and you could have made this a perfect Evil Dead film. But it's a mummy movie, so some of the lore, some of the reveals doesn't quite make sense. And it didn't really happen while watching it, but on my way home, I had a conversation with my brother. Today, I had a conversation with my brother. And so, talking about the movie, really diving into it, you'll notice plot holes. Not enough to affect your experience while watching it, but you'll definitely think about it like, oh, wasn't that smart. But despite those few negatives, I still really had a great time with the movie. It hits all the elements that I needed it to hit as a horror fan, but also had the emotional element, some fantastic performances, a very well technically made movie, and overall, I just thought this movie rocked, and I am baffled that a lot of people disagree with me. Before I give you my final score on Lee Cronin's Mummy, if you would subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, comment down below if you've seen the movie, what are your opinions on it? If you haven't seen it, did this review make you more excited? And I highly encourage you to check it out if you are a big horror fan. And with that said, Lee Cronin's The Mummy hits every notch I need it for as a horror fan. Even if it steps a few boundaries, it has a couple dumb scenes, the script's not necessarily the smartest. Still watching it, I was just enthralled the whole time, and just baffled that people aren't loving this one, because I did. This one was awesome. It's going to get an A from me, and a must-see in theaters if you're a horror fan. I don't really know who to recommend this to if you're not a horror fan. My mom and dad were going to go see it last night, a couple hours before me and my brother were. And fortunately, they didn't, because the theater that they went to didn't have the movie. And then they saw Project Hail Mary instead, which they loved, which is awesome. But my mom wouldn't have liked this movie. I wouldn't recommend this movie to my mom. If you aren't a horror movie fan, this is not for you. It's gross. But if you are a horror movie fan, like me, you are going to love this. Recently, I just did a live stream diving into the CinemaCon, where I did the first 4 panels, so Sony, Universal, Amazon, and Warner Brothers. I kind of ran out of time. I work here soon. I had to get this video out to you guys, so I couldn't finish it. So tomorrow night, I will be going through Disney and Paramount's panels on a live stream. Please tune into that if you want to, and with that said, subscribe.